Hello. This video is something a little bit different, just a brief conversation because I am looking for your help. I would like to better understand how the community has engaged with the Warhammer worlds through the art that we've enjoyed over the years. I really want to understand which particular art pieces, which illustrations and covers and amazing bits of work have defined the worlds of Warhammer Fantasy and 40k for many people across the community. Now, if that sounds quite vague, forgive me, I'm going to try and explain a little bit more about this mini project I'm undertaking, and hopefully you'll be able to help me out by the end of it. I'm just going to start by talking a little bit about a kind of off-topic experience I had at university, and then I'll come back around to the Warhammer of it all. So I went to university to study something called time-based media. What I thought that was going to be was how to make Hollywood-style big-budget movies. Now, I didn't expect to be doing that at university, but I thought it was going to be the skills and the techniques and the technology of big-budget storytelling. And it wasn't really that. I mean, actually, shortly after I'd started the course, they changed the name from time-based media to visual media arts, because really, this was an art university, and it was very much about the kind of artistic expression through the moving image that you would see in galleries or collections of short films shown at artistic events, essentially. It wasn't really about the storytelling, it was about creating feeling and sort of more about the medium itself. Now, that was an interesting course, and I don't regret doing it, it just wasn't what I was expecting. It was full of fascinating short films. We watched loads of these kind of artsy movies and art house cinema, lots of short films, and trying to understand how to, express yourself through the kind of filmmaking process. I made a load of films, and I kind of was bristling against this leaning towards the art side of things, and was very much in favor of trying to create comedies and horror, that sort of traditional storytelling through movies, even though I didn't have the budget and I didn't have the skills and I didn't have the cameras or any of the real understanding of how to do that. Maybe I'll share some of those films here on the channel one day. Some of them are embarrassing, some of them are still quite good fun, but they were certainly not on the artsy end of the spectrum. One thing that I got a lot of joy from during my time at university was the library. It had an incredible collection of films. Again, a lot of it skewed more to the sort of cinematic history and the art house side of things, but there was lots to see, lots to watch, and lots to learn from it. And there was an incredible range of artistic books as well, including a lot of books about photography. And I stumbled across something that completely changed my relationship with cinema and my relationship with photography. And that was an art book by Hiroshi Sugimoto. If you're not familiar with him, Sugimoto is a world-renowned photographer who plays with the concept of time in his images. Despite the fact that his work consists of singular photographs capturing a single moment in time, he somehow manages to fill them with so much more than is visible in the frame. Whether that is by taking pictures of wax dioramas in museum and giving them a sense of life, or images of lightning and long exposures of seascapes, or the series that particularly affected me, which was about theatres, and consisted of several images inside cinemas, capturing the audience, the chairs, and the screen in a magnificent fashion. I had finally found the time-based media I was looking for. The thing that blew my mind about Sugimoto's work, and in particular this theatre series, was that every single one of those pictures, every single frame, includes an entire movie. The light from that film has illuminated the theatre, illuminated the audience. They have been washed in it, bathed in it. And from it, you get that bright white screen because all of the light has just completely saturated the exposed film in the camera. It is amazing, and just it's one of those moments where all of a sudden the relationship between cameras and photography and light and cinema and time all sort of clicked into place, or at least shifted in my mind, and all of a sudden I was sort of seeing things in a slightly different way. It's exactly what great art is supposed to do, and I don't know if it's changed the work that I've done since, but it certainly changed my appreciation for both forms of art. It's really added something to my perspective, I suppose. It's shifted it and given me a new appreciation for photography and for movies. And that is exactly what I wanted from this kind of stuff. That's the sort of thing I wanted to learn, to see things in a new way. And that is why I wanted to talk about this particular experience before getting into my question about Warhammer art, because I want to understand from you which pieces of art, which illustrations and book covers, which amazing spreads in White Dwarf or in Army's books or in any other supplement or release from Games Workshop has just changed your relationship with Warhammer, with 40k, with any of the other games. Basically has got in your mind and given you this completely new perspective. It's captured your imagination. It's made you love a faction that you didn't think you would like, or made you fall out of love with a faction, or given you an intense sense of the story and the world and the universe that these games take place in. That is what I want to find out. So that is this project I'm working on. Around the new year, I would love to put together a video that takes from the community a load of pieces of art that people have called out as being iconic and impactful. The various bits of work, the pieces of art that have really changed their relationship with the game, and to just talk about them, because I think that there are so many amazing pieces of art from the history of Games Workshop, from the history of Warhammer and 40k, that I think there will probably be 1,000 different answers to this question, but I would love to understand if there are any specific pieces that turn up again and again, that have had an outsized impact on the community, that have changed just so many minds or hearts, or just, got into people's souls and given them their love for these games. Because as much as the writing and the world building and the miniatures are incredibly, incredibly important, essential even to our love for these games, I think there's something in the art as well that is worth exploring specifically. So that is my question to you. I would love to see down in the comments which pieces of art have changed your relationship with these games, and how and when did it happen? I know that's a lot to ask, and it's you'll have to go deep into your own psyche, into your own history with these games. But I would love to hear more from you, and I'd love for you to share this question out into the wider community on lots of different platforms, and if you can, bring back their answers here and share it, because I think it would make for a really fun video, just taking some time, reacting to the stories that people are telling, the pieces of art that people are calling out, and then sharing my own experiences with those art, if I've got them, and just talking about these momentous bits of work, pieces of incredible art that have meant so much to people and have just helped to build our relationship as a community with the worlds of Warhammer and 40k and everything that's come after that. That is all I wanted to talk about. A very brief call for your assistance in helping to understand a little bit more about that important history of art and how it has helped influence these games and our enjoyment and relationship with these games. So please leave those comments, please share it and talk about it elsewhere, and I will come back and I will bring everything together and try and call out as many of the really impactful stuff and the most frequently mentioned ones in a video around New Year's. I just think this is a fun little project to take a different sort of perspective, to shift how we engage with these kind of conversations, and to, just talk about them slightly differently than the normal way I approach it. So that is why I've made this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you if you're able to leave a comment and respond and to get this message out there. I'm Jordan, and this is Jordan Sorcery.